Hey everyone, this is Hogan Brown with Loon Outdoors. Today I'm going to show you how to tie the spring swing pattern. This is a pattern that I came up with to fish on a trout spey or a light switch rod here in Northern California during our spring, kind of early summer season, and realistically even into early fall. A lot of places in California, or especially Northern California, we have some small spring steelhead runs, some half pounders, and some what we would consider larger adults. But one thing that a lot of us like to do is we like to fish newer trout spey style rods, those 3, 4s, and even into some of those 5 weights on some of our big tailwaters. And our fish in those rivers really gorge, especially the bigger trout, on small fry patterns, little bait fish, salmon, smolt, and that type of thing during the spring and early summer months. So I developed this fly to be fished to imitate those. It's easy to tie. You can fill a box really quick, as you do lose a lot of flies when you're swinging them in our rivers, banging them on the rocks, you beat them up and snag up a bunch. So durability and ease of replacement are a important part. So first thing for this fly is a hook. I use a basic traditional steelhead hook. This is a Eric's HR 414. Now I'm just going to start with some olive thread, work that olive thread down to the back. And I am not much of a traditional steelhead fly tyer or traditional steelhead fly guy, but I do try to honor the style a little bit with how I do tie my trout spey flies or my traditional trout streamers that I do swing on a two-handed rod. So I'm going to give this kind of a traditional tail, maybe not a traditional material, but I do tie in about, 10, 15 strands of just pearl flashabou. I'm going to work that thread up to the eye. And what I do with this is I take this and I palmer it around the shank. And you could use many materials to do this. Dubbing, all sorts of different body materials. But one reason I do use the flashabou is I'm going to show you here is I put UV fly finish over this. I put some clear fly finish over this. And it's really to add the durability factor. And this is also how I tie the body of my striper flies. So I do know that this is a durable program. So I'll also trim the tail up. And with this, I'm going to take the UV clear fly finish, the thin, and just going to give it a little coating. And again, this is also what I do on the hook shank of my striper flies. So I'm pretty familiar with the fact that this is a durable program. Kind of spin it, let it flow, fill in the gaps, and then hit it with the light. And you can get creative with this. You could do a darker back. You could throw in some brown or some black fly finish in there and kind of do it up. But I'm going to put a UV underwing on this, which I'm a big fan of. These fish seem to like that UV. This is just UV pearl ripple ice fiber, okay, by hairline. Just going to take it in, tie it right like that. Kind of pick it out. Kind of cut it like this. You got a nice little wing, and you can trim that. You can keep it thinner if you want. There's all different colors of ripple ice fiber. I have some olive. Sometimes I'll put some olive in there if I want to give it a little different look. But for this fly, we're going to keep that UV. Now the original fly, when I came up with this, I would use like a nice marabou underwing and throw some feathers and stuff in there for side gills. But what I realized is they just don't last. Marabou gets beat up, you know, as it gets banged on the rocks. It gets, you know, it's usually a one fish fly. Fish will tear it up when they eat it on the swing with the marabou. And so I've been using lately Arctic foxtail, and so I just take a little bit of olive, pick out kind of that downy under fur. Look, make sure I got like a nice kind of wing, and I just set it there, kind of measure the tips like a traditional proportion, just latch it in. Come up, get in there, trim it, then build that nice head. I am, again, by no means a traditional steelhead fly tyer of note. Nine times out of 10, I just get that in there good, and then I will tie it off and let the fly finish make the clean looking teardrop head. So for this part I'll use some flow just because I don't want to build up a huge head. So I'll do a top drop, hit it, and then get the rest. Give it a few turns to let that flow. Flow is about the consistency of water, so hence the name flow. It'll really flow around there and give you that nice, clean looking head. So that's it. Very simple fly, easy to tie, easy to replace, cheap to lose, and durable. A lot of different variations you can make on it. You know, if you want, you can add some feathers down the side as gills, or, you know, eyes or whatnot. But my experience with a fly like this is it's more about putting it in front of the fish, the right fish that's going to eat it. And if I can do that, it really doesn't matter if it has feathers here or eyes or whatnot. Most of our fish, if they're in there and they're eating little small fry, they're going to eat this just as much as they would a fly with eyes or whatnot. So good luck out there. Have a great spring, and thanks for tuning in.